FlossTube, it's Catherine the Needleberry Stitcher. Today is Sunday, May the 10th. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to mothers out there, to those who are mothers to others, those who fill the mother role to other people. I don't want to recognize just mothers because I know that all women are contributing positively to the lives of other people. And I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone who's watching. And yeah, I mean, it's a good day for me. I got to see my daughter today. She came over and spent the morning, and I lost my mother 3 years ago, so that makes it a little bit harder too, just to recognize that it's different now. Mother's Day, it's different when you lose your mom. Especially, I was very close to my mom, so anyway, starting out the video on that note isn't the right thing to do. Happy Mother's Day. Don't have a lot to show you today. 2 projects. I only worked on 2 projects in the past 2 weeks. I think I made really good progress on them, so I'm really happy about that, and I want to show that to you. And then we have some giveaway winners to do, and then a couple of things that I purchased. Well, actually only one thing that I purchased, but I'll show that to you at the end. I'm wearing my glasses today because it's Sunday. I don't have to get all fancy right now. So my allergies are really bad. So if I'm going to try not to sniffle too much or sneeze, but I'm already starting to feel it. I thought I got all my sneezes out already, but I guess not. So apologize for that, but I can't put contacts in today because my eyes are too itchy and scratchy. And so anyway, this is it. Jumping into the stitching. The first project that I worked on, I showed it to you in my last video. I had just purchased this pattern and the materials, but I had not started it yet. And it is At Home by Brenda Gervais. I'll try to come in a little bit closer. It's really pretty. And the thing is that I look at this pattern and I think, oh, that is a beautiful pattern. But to me, when I look at it, it's very brown, green, brown, just neutral colors. What I didn't expect was what this looks like in person when you actually stitch it up. And I can't wait to show you because I did make a little bit of progress on this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I did a color and cotton conversion, so I have all of my colors that I converted to. I didn't convert all the colors, and I worked with Tina and Angela over at Color and Cotton at the store, and they helped me come up with a conversion for the colors that made sense. So these ones are all Color and Cottons, but where we couldn't find a really good match, we ended up just going with the called for Weeks Dye Works. And there's some doubles in here. So let's see, Oscar, there's 2 skeins of Oscar. And what I found very interesting with this is my 2 skeins of Oscar look completely different. And I don't know if you can tell that here, but when I look at them in person, there's a dye lot difference. I don't know if you can tell, but one looks a little bit more green and one looks a little bit more mossy. So I'm going to try and use as much as I can of the first skein and maybe not have to dip into the second skein. And the reason for that is because I'm doing it on a 25 count. It's the called for fabric, which is Vintage Country Mocha, but I'm not doing it on the 28 or 32. I'm doing it on 25 count 1/1. So hopefully I won't have to use much off of the second skein, especially since there's a little bit of a difference there. And then I have 2 skeins of oilcloth, and I have 2 skeins of olive. So we looked at the olive, the oil skin, I just called it, what was it? Oilcloth. The oilcloth, the Oscar, and there's guacamole and the olive. So those ones are pretty common colors. I think I've seen them quite a bit called for in charts, but I am a little bit surprised to see, just even 2 skeins that were sold in the store together looked a little bit different. So dye lots make a difference, and they do change them over time. So I'm getting so much more comfortable with converting my flosses to the Color and Cotton and just going for continuity of the color palette and finding complementary colors and not worrying quite as much about the called for colors anymore because they've changed over time. They're different. So, but I love these. This one especially, the red is called Red Fox. I like that. There's a color I've been looking for at Color and Cotton called Cherry Cobbler. Multiple people on YouTube have mentioned that it's their favorite red, and it's been sold out at Color and Cotton at the store for a while. So I keep checking for it. Every time I go in, I look for the spot. There's still a slot for it, but it's always empty. So I know eventually they'll replenish it. So aren't these really pretty though? Beautiful colors. But there really wasn't a good Color and Cotton match for the, that's what I was trying to get to with the Oscar and the olive and the oilcloth. Those ones really, and even the guacamole, there really wasn't something that, I'm sure I could have picked something from Color and Cotton threads, but these ones are pretty standard. So I just kept those. Okay, and then this one too that I want to call out, the blue, is really pretty. It's called Tambourine. It's a special edition color. And as of the last time I was in the store, there was only one left and it got bought. Not by me, but it was gone. So really pretty. The blue and the red together and the gold. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So that's it for the colors. What I'll do is I'll post either, if anyone's interested, I can send you the list of the converted colors, or I can put a picture in. If I can get a digital version of the conversion, then I'll post it in here where you can see it. You can take a screen grab. I had checked with Color and Cotton and they said they were fine with me sharing it. You can also call the store and they have this actual conversion on file because they helped me with it. So they logged it in their catalog. So if you call them and say, do you have a conversion to Color and Cotton for the at-home chart from Brenda Gervais, then they can give that to you as well. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I have it right here. I'm gonna hold it up, but I'll see if I can put a digital picture. In case I can't get a digital picture, this is the conversion. I don't know if you can zoom in on it or not. Or I'll come in and just kind of hold it up close and scroll through it. Okay, and that's just in case I can't put this digitally, and also even if I do it digitally, it might be too small for you to read it. So, okay, so I got started on it 2 weeks ago. After my last FlossTube, I was anxious to get it started because I had everything all kitted up and ready to go. Again, this is 25 count, Vintage Country Mocha, 1/1. And this is where it's at. And I don't know about you, but this does not look anything. I mean, the design looks like the color, the cover photo. But in my opinion, look how vibrant the blues and the reds are. Isn't that just beautiful? And I had so much fun with this. I had a busy work week that week, and it was so fun in the evening when even if I was tired, I could just sit and just pick one motif and work on one motif and still be making progress. I love that. So I did find a font, and I can post the charting of this as well for anyone else who might do 1/1. But this was, I found a website that allowed you to put in a couple of different types of fonts. And then I typed in the letters and it charted this. It didn't chart it exactly spaced out the way that I wanted, but I just kind of fudged it a little bit. So it calls for, I'll show you in, sorry, I can actually sit down so you don't have to just like stare at my gray shirt. If you look up close, the letters are actually, if it'll focus, the letters are actually stitched 1/1, but that's assuming that you're stitching this 2/2 or 1/2. But since I'm stitching 1/1, I can't do 1/2. I mean, I would be piercing threads and it would be so teeny tiny. So I don't know if you can tell from this, but I'll see if I can get a picture that's closer up. But the letters, each letter is, each letter of the alphabet in here of the saying is a full stitch over one. So anyway, I had to come up with a solution. So I went online and I found something that worked for me. It might not be what everyone else would want to might not want to do, but you can put anything else in there too. You don't even have to use the saying that comes with it. you could put your names and dates, and this could be a wedding sampler where you put the wedding date and the names in it. So I didn't start the house yet because I thought what I would do is stitch the rest of the border and all the little motifs and save the house for the end. I thought that might be kind of fun. But I love the blue, that tambourine blue in the flowers, and the red fox for the red flowers. Oh, I love them so much. Isn't that so much more colorful than what's in the cover? And that always comes back to be that the cover photos never do justice to the actual photo or to the actual stitched piece. Like, it's just so hard to get a good photo. And I'm going to show you side by side. So this is the difference. Let me hold it back just a little bit. It's not that the cover photo doesn't show any color at all, but it's just not as bright as what is actually, like, look at the border flowers. It's hard to tell, but to me it just looks like it's washed out a little bit on the cover photo. It's so much more beautiful stitched up. So that is that one. I'm so happy with this progress. I'm gonna keep showing it because I should have ironed it. It still has the Q snap marks on it, but yes, really love this one. I'm so glad that I started this one. So this one's going to stay in my active rotation until it's done. And then I worked on this one, let's see, I filmed 2 Sundays ago. I started it that Sunday. I worked on it through that whole week until I think I still worked on it last Sunday. And then I switched to a new project on Monday. And I decided I was going to make it my evening stitch because, again, when I work full time, I come home and sometimes I am just so tired that picking up any project that requires a lot of counting or starting or spacing, like this, the sampler here was pretty good. The at home was pretty good, as long as I got the counting right, but it's very, very small when you do it 1/1. So it was a little bit harder on my eyes when I was counting. So I was trying to anchor things, like put a few stitches into the different motifs just so that I'd have it anchored. So when I came back to it the next evening, I knew where I was starting from and not having to count so much. But then last Monday, I picked up what you all voted for, which is, I'm going to put it on the screen. I've lost the cover photo. I've been looking everywhere. My craft room is a mess, but I can't find it. This is the one that I did as my Stitch One Ditch One that you guys voted on a couple weeks ago, the Finery of Nature. And it's a kit from Dimensions. And I'll show you where it was as of the last time I worked on it, which was years ago. I don't know how many years ago, probably anywhere from 4 to 8 years ago. I don't really know, I don't remember. But so this is the starting point of where it was at. And now I'll show you where it got to. Oh, I have to unroll just I have it on a scroll rod. Let me unroll it a little bit. All right, this is where I got to. I'm really happy with how much progress that I made. Let me roll it up just a little bit. So I got this almost this entire quadrant done. And look at the colors. Is that not amazing? The pinks and purples. I had these little pink flowers done and then the blue, but I did all these purple flowers and then all these purple flowers and the white and the leaves. This whole triangle area of the chart was not done. So I finished the quadrant, except for here. I just have a little bit of this green flower to put in right here. And that's just bringing the border down. So what I think I might do is put this green flower in and then just keep going and then do the next quadrant on below it, which I think is the butterflies. So that is where I'm at. I picked it up and I had so much fun with it. You know, and then when you do that and you look, you're like, why did I ever put this down? Why did I stop working on this? It's beautiful. I was a little worried about the 14 count Black Aida, but the fact that it's 14 count has been a good thing. But honestly, I haven't had any problem with it at all. It has been wonderful. I haven't really had that many issues. Like I'm nearsighted. So when I put my glasses on, I have a tablet that sits on a stand next to my chair. So if I'm working on a digital pattern, I can't see the digital screen for whatever reason. I can't see it unless I have my glasses on. I guess it's just how far away it is from me. And it's because of my whole situation with my dogs on me and everything else around me that I can't get it any closer. But so I have to have my glasses on for that. So in order to see my fabric when I look at a digital screen, I have to wear mag eyes. And that's the magnification thing that looks like Star Trek with the band that goes across your forehead and has the little extension thing coming out and you flip it up and down. So I use my mag eyes for magnification with my glasses when I use my tablet. So I mostly use my tablet for full coverage. I do have a couple of digital patterns that I do also use my tablet for. But for the most part, like this one, I decided to just make a working copy on paper and then I can take my glasses off. And when I take my glasses off, I can see perfectly up close. Like I can see 25 count, 28 count, 40 count, without my glasses on. But as soon as I put my glasses on, everything's blurry because I'm correcting for distance. So it used to be fine. I used to be able to wear my glasses and still see up close with my glasses, but you know, getting older, I'm admitting it, I'm getting older, so it's getting a little bit more challenging, but I'm very thankful that even without my glasses on, I can still see really well up close. So that was no different for my Black Aida. Just being able to see it up close, it's 14 count. I didn't really have any problem finding the hole. So why did I put it down all those years ago? I don't know. It's a joy to work on, and I think I'm going to keep this one in my active rotation, partly because you guys are so helpful to help me choose it. But I want to get it done. I'm gonna keep it working on it, and I'm gonna get this one done. And I think it's gonna be really pretty. Let me show it one more time. It's so pretty. I just love the colors in this one. And speaking of the colors, I've had people ask me before, how do you sort your flosses for a dimensions kit, or how do you get it, you know, kitted up? I have a video. It's an older video from 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, and it's dimensions kit organization, something like that. I don't remember the exact title of the video, but if you look back in history, I went into some detail on how I actually prepare a dimensions kit, specifically the threads. The threads are such a problem, at least for me, because there are blends, and then there are half crosses, and there are full crosses, and then like, how do you even store that? So what I want to do right now, just really quickly, is show you, because this kit I did up exactly the way I would normally kit up a dimensions kit. Let me get it. Okay. So these are all of the gorgeous colors that are in it, by the way. Let me hold it this way. Look at the colors. Aren't they just beautiful? I love those colors. Purples and blues and teals and greens. So many greens. And golds and yellows and pinks, and yeah. So what I do is I create my own floss drops, and I have a whole set of different punches. I have large circles, which is for certain projects, but I also have this one. No, that's not it. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. It's one of these ones that makes a gift tag, if you can see the shape of that on there. So I just put it in with some cardstock, just basic either white or colored cardstock, and I punch out a whole bunch of these things. And then I take the color key from the kit. I punch smaller circles, like a regular hole punch. I'll put a regular hole punch up here to be able to put it on a ring, and then I put a slightly larger hole punch at the bottom, and then that's where I hang my thread drop off of, my threads. I just put it on there. But what I'll do is I'll take a photocopy of the color key, and then I'll cut it out and tape it onto the front. So each of these has on the front, as you can see, it's got the symbol and it's got the name of the color. And then on the back, I put the actual color number that's on the chart that comes with it. And if I do that, then if I have leftover threads, I can put these in my storage. So if I have another dimensions kit in the future that calls for the same number and I run out, then I can just go in and easily find that I have a little bit of extra of that color. So that's what I do. I just put the symbol on here. So when I'm looking at my chart and I see a symbol, okay, what's the next symbol I want to work on? All I have to do is just sort through these until I find the symbol. And I sort, and you know with dimensions kits, they have the same symbol that they reuse in a different color. So you might have, let's say you might have a green heart as a symbol, and you might have a red heart and a blue heart. So and maybe a black heart. So those are the 4 colors that I've seen typically in dimensions charts, is the red, the blue, the black, and the green. And so I sort them by color. So all the green symbols are all together, and then all the blue symbols are all together, and all the red and black. So I put them all so it's easier to find the right section. Oh, okay, here I'm looking for red. Oh, I found the red symbol, so I can quickly look through and find it. And then I keep it on the ring, and I either hang it next to me, next to my chair, or I just lay it down next to me, so then I can just flip through them. Then the other piece of this, to make it a little bit easier, is that the ones with the blends, I'll create a card with the symbol, and then I just basically use that as a place to store the leftover. So if it happens to be a blend, then I'll take from the original colors from here where they're with their original symbols, and then I only put it on the thread drop if there's leftover, because I don't want to throw it away, but I also don't want to take it apart and then try and figure out which one it goes back to. So I just create the same blend symbol drop and then just put the leftover on it. And then the next time I need that symbol, I just use my blended thread that's already there. And then the last piece of this is if this was a chart that had a lot of half stitches and a lot of full crosses, and there were a lot of differences between them, I would do something like this, where it has the number of threads in one corner and whether it's a full cross or a half cross, and the other corner of the thread drop. And the reason I didn't in this kit on most of them is because most of them are full cross with 2 strands. So in this case, I didn't have to mark every thread drop. It didn't make sense to do that because they're all 2 strands full cross. But in the cases like this where it's 3 strands full cross, I can quickly see when I find this symbol, like, oh, this is different. I need 3 strands and not just 2. And then I have a couple of colors where it's a half cross. So in this case, for example, it's 3 strands and it's a half cross. So it's just a very quick way to have exactly what's on the color key, and I don't ever have to go to the color key anymore. So I go from the chart, it says let's see, I find my symbol, and then I look up in the corner and I look, is there anything different? Yep, 3 half cross. Great, I'm just going to pull 3 strands and do a half cross. If it's a circle, it's an open circle, I come to it, red open circle, and it's yellow. There's nothing up here, then I know by default it's 2 strands full cross because that's what most of the chart is. So if it was a chart that had a lot of different half crosses, full crosses, 4 strands, 3 strand, 2 strand, 1 strand, because there's some kits that are very intricate like that, then I would definitely mark every single thread drop with what it was. So anyway, that's how I do this. I stitch very quickly from this method, and I'm really happy with it. So that's my progress on my second piece. So I worked on that right up until today, and so my plans for next week, I think I'm going to start working on my full coverage again, which is my Heaven and Earth Design 2026 SAL project, and it's the Wise and the Brave. Oops, sorry for the ruffling. The Wise and the Brave. So my plan from the beginning of the year was to work on completing 10% of this per month, and then I would be done by the end of October. So I was very successful in January. I don't know if you've watched my videos, my last few, I say the same thing in every video. Sorry if I'm repetitive. But I did, in January I got 10% done, so I met my goal. February I did not. I went into, I think I was at 15%, and then by March I was able to get that up to 20%. And then by the end of April I was at right around, what was it, 20, I think I'm just over 25%. So now we're into May, and I'm supposed to be at 50%, and I don't think that's going to happen. And even if I worked on this, and this is where I'm at, by the way. So this is about 25% complete, just over 25. I love it. I'm so happy with the result. So even if I worked on this for the rest of the month, I won't be able to get to 50 because I have to travel for work. So, and I'm not taking a full coverage piece with me, and I won't have time to work on it anyway. It's for a conference, and I'll be down in Orlando. So as part of staying in Orlando, it's at the Swan and Dolphin on the Disney property, which is great. That's really fun. So I'm going a couple of days early so I can meet up with my coworkers, and we're going to go to some of the Disney parks, Epcot and Magic Kingdom. So it's going to be a busy week because the rest of the week after that is pretty much planned out activities that don't really involve anything with going to the parks, but it's going to be just all day sessions of learning. And then in the evenings, they have vendor events that I have to go and mingle and network and sorry for the face, but I'm not a mingler. I'm not a networking kind of person. It's draining for me to be around a lot of people and have to try to make small talk. I'm not a small talk person per se. So anyway, it's going to be a draining week, and I'm not going to have time to cross stitch. So I'm not taking anything with me. But then, so I leave on this coming Saturday, early morning I leave, and then I get back the following Thursday, and then I arrive at the airport, and then I have a special visitor coming who's also arriving at the airport like right around the same time. So we're going to travel together back home, and my visitor is going to be staying with me until Monday of the following week, which is the US Memorial Day. And so I might get a little bit of stitching done over that weekend because she's a stitchy friend. And so I'll save that as a surprise. If we get a chance, we'll do FlossTube together, maybe. We'll see if we have some time. So, because that would be my normal 2 weeks. If I've been doing really good with filming every 2 weeks on Sunday. So I'm going to try to keep the momentum. So while my friend is here would be the right Sunday for us to film, for me to film. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so I won't even, no matter if I stitch like the wind, I just don't think I'm going to be able to get this to 50%. But my goal is to get this to 40%. From 25, that's a lot though, 15%. So let's see, 10% is 8,000 stitches. So I'm looking at about 12 to 13,000 stitches between now and the end of the month just to get to 40%. So it's aggressive, but I'm going to try. If we don't set a goal, I know I'm not one to set goals, and as soon as I set a goal, I fail the goal, but I'm going to try that this month though. I'm going to try to have a goal and try and see if I can finish it. So that is the project that's going to be priority, and I may or may not get any other stitching done. That's the only one that I have planned to work on, and that's really mainly because I'm going to be very busy and traveling and having my guest and having fun, and yeah. So I think that's about it from a stitching perspective. And I think the last piece of today, which I think you guys are all waiting for, are the giveaways from the last video. So I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to pull up my app, and then we'll go ahead and I might have to draw the names off camera because it takes me a while to reset the website to put it in. So I'll go ahead and spin everything, and then I'll come back, and then I'll have the screenshots of the winners. And so 1 second. Okay, the wheel spins are done, and I'm going to go through each of the prizes that I had up for the giveaway last video. So the first one I'm going to do is Jeanette Douglas. It's for this cute little chubby fox pattern. And the keyword for this one was fox. And I'll put on the screen who the winner is. It is In Cross Stitching. And you are the winner of the chubby fox pattern. So if you could please send me your email. My email address is needleberries@gmail.com. My email is also in the description box below if you need to find it there. So please send me your mailing address, your name and mailing address, and I will get your pattern in the mail. The next one is by the Bay Needle Art, Stitch an Inch Fall. And this is one that I had stitched before. Same for the fox, I had stitched it. It stitches up really quickly and it's super cute. So this one is up for grabs, and the winner of this one is Peggy V69. Congratulations. If you can also send me an email with your name and mailing address, I will get this in the mail to you. The next one is Hello Spring. Oh, the keyword on the last one was fall. I don't know if I said that, but this is Hello Spring, which is a pattern that I completed in March. And I am also including a piece of 36 count Dutch blue color and cotton fabric to go with it. That's what I stitched it on, and it turned out really cute. So the keyword for this one was spring. And the winner of that one is J Forster 95. Congratulations. Please send me an email, needleberries@gmail.com, with your name and mailing address. I'll get this to you. The next one is Hoppy Easter. This is also by Annie B's Folk Art, same as the last one. And there's two patterns that come with this one. I've stitched both, and they stitch up very, very quickly, and they're really cute. And also with this one is the 36 count color and cotton Dutch blue to go with it. And on the 36 count, I did one strand over one, and it turned out just lovely. So this one, the keyword was Easter. The winner is Elaine Edwards 9816. Congratulations. Please send me an email with your name and address, and I'll get this out to you in the mail. And the last one is the Mirabilia Queen of Freedom chart. This is the latest release one, the MD, the limited release 6426 is the number. And also included with this is the bead pack. So both of these go together as one final prize. And the keyword for this one was Queen. So I spun for this one, and the winner of the Queen of Freedom with the bead pack is Olivia Counts 9257. So congratulations to all of you that won these giveaway prizes. I had fun. Thanks to all of you for participating in the comments and celebrating my 5,000 subscribers milestone with me. It's also been just back in February was my 4-year anniversary on FlossTube. And I don't do it for subscriber counts. It's not about getting the most subscribers or trying to do that. It's really just about building a community, just having fun. I mean, it's just really about having fun. And I think I love hearing from you in the comments. It really, number one, it's inspiring and motivating to hear what you're working on. And I just have fun. When I get a new comment, I almost like giggle. I'm like a little 12-year-old girl. I'm like, oh, someone just left me a comment. I get to go and look at it. So I'm always checking my phone, looking like, oh, did anybody leave a comment today? And it's just really fun. So I want to thank you for all your support and for sticking with me. Those of you who've been here from the beginning, 4 years ago, you stuck through it when I was not consistent with filming. You stuck through it with me when I stopped filming for a few months, and now I'm back and you're still here. So I want to just thank all of you. And if you're new to my channel and you want to subscribe, welcome to my community, our community. This is really fun. It's a happy place. My goal in my videos is just to make this a fun place to go. Life is hard enough with things that are going on in our lives. I don't want this to be a doom and gloom place to go. I want this to be a place where people come and feel happy and feel, maybe a bit of a distraction from stuff going on in your real world and in life, and in general, things are just sometimes really tough. And I just want to be a happy place. So hopefully I can do that for you. And those of you that come back, I hope that's why you come back, is because it's just a fun place to be. So if I'm ever not fun and if I'm ever having a downer kind of day, then tell me in the comments, say, smarten up, be happy, be fun, because I need that, so. All right, that was it for the giveaways. The last thing I wanted to show you, I showed you I think it was in my last video, I showed you a kit that I bought from RTO, and it's called Fairy Tale Girl. I'm gonna show it to you again. It's just the sweetest thing ever. Oh, she's just sweet, and so is the little deer. I just love that. So this was one that I got in the last month or so. I think I just showed it on my last video, or maybe the video before that. So this was a purchase. So I was enabled for this one, but then I was also enabled for the next one. And I think it's a sister piece, because that one just now looked kind of like a fall or autumn kind of a vibe. And this next one is more of a winter / going into spring kit. It's called Kiss of Spring. And it's another fairy. I don't know if the other one was a fairy. She doesn't have wings, but she's still some type of forest lady. So we'll go with that. This one's a fairy, and it's just the flowers and then the snow in the background. It's just like the beginning of spring coming to life. I just thought it was so pretty. And the colors of her dress and the flowers and all the purples looks so fun to stitch. So I thought these would be good companion pieces. Even if they're not intended to be, they might be. But I liked them. If I stitched them, I'd want to stitch both. But again, thank goodness they don't say specifically a season. I mean, I know this one says Kiss of Spring, but the last one said Fairy Tale Girl and Fawn. So I'm just going to pretend it's not a seasonal series, because as soon as there's a series, I'm going to feel like I have to collect them all, and I don't want to have to do that. So I think that is it for today. That's all my updates, and it's been really fun to be here today, and I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoying the nicer weather. We're getting some rain here where I live, this on and off in the past few days. It's getting warmer, but not too hot yet. And that's really nice. And then for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, it sounds like you're going into winter. So enjoy your autumn weather, and I hope you guys will join me here in a couple of weeks. If I'm not here 2 weeks from today, then you'll know that it just was too busy for me to be able to film a FlossTube with my company coming. But otherwise, hopefully I see you in a couple of weeks. So happy stitching, and I hope you get a lot done. And if you want, leave me a comment, tell me what you're working on while you're watching my video today. That'll be fun for me to check and see. I'm always looking for inspiration. As you know, I get easily enabled. So take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.